Welcome to Old Ass Black Man Podcast. I mean, the Don Miller Show Podcast.
What?
The Don Miller Show Podcast. Subscribe and like. I'm not going to scream and holler today. This is going to be like last week was a good ass show, Phil.
Hell yeah.
I stayed up and watched it till like 4 o'clock in the morning, like 5 glasses of wine in.
Oh.
I thought I was smart. I was like, damn, homie, you know what the hell you talking about. So thank you so much for joining us. You can follow us on all platforms. It's The Don Miller Show. Subscribe and like. Tell your friends about us. We do this on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming soon. Want everybody to know, all my friends in the Panhandle, I love y'all so much. All my friends in Lower Alabama and Georgia who've been listening to The Don Miller Show via radio for 4 hours a day. All my truckers up and down the road, 4 hours a day, listen to The Don Miller Show with D'Amica Page and Holly Holloman. Guess what? Phil, I'm almost back.
Oh, snap.
I've been working with these white people. These white people drive a hard-ass deal, man. But I'm so glad they white because black people don't pay on time. I still got an uncle I worked for in 86. He owed me a check.
Oh.
Every time I see him, he talking about, baby, you know I'm waiting for my income taxes. But again, thank you so much, everybody. The Don Miller Show right here. Follow us. Just subscribe and like. Follow us on all platforms. Shout out to Phil, the podcast doctor.
Yo!
Shout out to the little white lady up in the middle, Big Bend area, up in the middle of the Big Bend, little up in about Chiefland, Florida, who is making us look amazing through promotional activity. Amber!
Yeah, I need a theme song for her.
Oh, you got to get Amber right, man. That little white
There you
lady,
go.
she's so nice. She's a nice little white lady.
Amber.
That's a nice little white lady, man. I like white people. She's a nice little white lady. I know she'd be like, I don't understand why this guy's texting me at 11:30 at night. But just thank you for responding, ma'am. Sometime as an old guy who's been in this for a long time, I'm 25 years almost in. Man, I miss you so much, Holly Holloman. Man, I miss D'Amica Page. But I'm 25 years in, new to podcast. I fought podcasts. They were like, dude, you should do a podcast. I'm like, no, I shouldn't. I'm a radio guy, a long-ass 4-hour stint radio guy, Monday through Friday. And then they brought me over here to podcast. And, boy, I was like, man, what the hell? Every shirt I got, I mess up. I had to wear this today so I won't look fat as I looked last week.
Shut up.
Thank you so much, everybody. Listen, this podcast is unlike many of you others. Thank you. Hey, Gladys. This podcast is unlike many of the others. This is a live podcast. Hey, Adley, thank you so much. We appreciate you. You can call us on this podcast. We are a live podcast. How many of these people who say they real podcasters do live podcasts? None of them, because they like to make mistakes and clean them up. I'm okay with my mistakes. I know how to take the L.
There you go.
I don't know my daddy. Okay? I'm sorry, that had nothing to do with what I was saying. But again, thank you so much again, everybody. We really appreciate you joining us. I want to touch on something today. Again, I've been watching this conversation about government waste. And I'm watching this, and then somebody dropped a nugget the other day. It's like Elon Musk. Listen to me. Elon Musk did not take, I'm going to say this to the Negro community because we do the most. Elon Musk did not take this job to make more money. Elon Musk ain't no more money to make. He got all the money. If you get to $200 billion, let me tell you what $200 billion is.
He's at 400 billion, by the way.
$400 billion. You know how many people you can put on with $400 billion? The last thing he need is a government job. So ain't it amazing, though, for black people? I heard the other day there's a possibility of some money coming down the pipes. And I'm reading, shout out to Quetta Jean Johnson from the Johnson Family of Ridiculous Behavior. She said, did you see this? And I was like, what? She said, these black people say, if they going to send them $5,000 check, they don't want them. Well, send me theirs. And it's a damn shame how ignorant people are. If you got $5,000 of my money, because that's your money. This ain't PPP, that's your damn money. And some of the things that they've been giving money to. Now, this is going to be an emotional show for me because I, just the other day, was under the East-West, and I talked to Mr. Ray, and he told me Earl was in hospice. And Earl's an old guy I used to play checkers with for years under the highway on Paramore. And he's a veteran, man. He served this country, and he was homeless for the better part of 20 years. And for all these people with these flags on their cars and this bullshit conversation about patriotism, and you don't understand the value in taking care of those who served us, you can kiss my ass. For real. This is bigger than all this political mumbo jumbo and this partisan bullshit. Donald Trump went to the microphone the other day. And this is the difference between Donald Trump and a lot of other people. He would be rich without this job. He'd have money without this job. He'd still be riding around fabulous without this job, living in a big-ass house without this job. Somehow I trust people who got there with paper more than I trust people who got there and then got paper. Let me slow down because I think somebody in the back didn't hear what I just said. I trust the people who went there with paper more than I trust the people who got there and then got that paper. So I trust a person who's got money who wants to work for the country and run for office more than the dude who got there with $49 and now he's got $49 million. Because I know he's worked the system. My point to this is, I've been hearing about the government ways, and people like Don Miller, shout out to my man Jeff, people like, Don, you're going to talk about the government ways. Government waste is not a new thing. It's a new thing to you people on the internet. 20 plus years ago, there was a great conversation, 60 Minutes did a piece about how Pentagon was just messing people by buying toilet seats for $200, $500, all kind of nonsense. Government waste ain't a new thing. But the people who have looked the other way and got rich on this program, that's the problem. So Donald Trump goes to the microphone the other day, and Donald Trump is different. Y'all know he's different. He ain't for the faint of heart, and this ain't about if you like him or not. But he's got kahunas. He goes to the microphone, Phil. Let's hear what he had to say, man.
And they're really something, but you'll be seeing it and you will be reading about it. But just some taking at random, $2 million for sex change operations in Guatemala, $20 million for Sesame Street performances in Iraq. $20 million, that's a lot of money. You know, I know what it costs to do those things. You get a cast over for $50,000. Give them a couple of bucks tip, and that's it, not 20 million. 20 million, that's Gone with the Wind on steroids. $101 million for 29 diversity, equity, and inclusion contracts at the Department of Education, wow. And we've canceled all of these, saved all of this money. And again, this is just a small sample. This could go on, I could read them all day. $520 million for a consultant. I want to know who is that consultant? To do ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance investments in Africa. $25 million to promote biodiversity conservation and illicit livelihoods by developing socially responsible behavior in Colombia. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that even means. None of this stuff. Nobody.
Stop, Phil.
No,
Stop, Phil.
Everyone's trying to figure out what.
Stop,
Jesus.
Phil.
It's like a stand-up routine.
We're throwing money away, throwing it out the window. And now we got a guy, got a bunch of nerds, then went in and through nerd programming, because these guys, Elon Musk, he got the greatest team of nerds probably in the country. And I love nerds. I got one. And I love mine. My nerd's the best, though. I love that little boy. Well, he ain't a little boy no more. But the point I make is this. We are spending this money, yet not allocating even close to the amount of funds to take care of our own people. So somebody comes in and opens the door and just puts it out there, and you have people defending it. We have homeless veterans. There shouldn't be a veteran, no matter what the situation. And a lot of these veterans suffer from mental illness. Well, okay, fine. We got enough money to take care of that too. Even if we build 25,000 units with a hospital in the middle to service those who served us, it's cheaper than throwing money out the window for this bullshit. But I'm watching these people defend giving money to Guatemala and to many of these regions of Africa, and just total nonsense. And I'm asking myself, what really are we trying to attempt? Because based on what I've seen and what's been uncovered, we ain't trying to help ourselves. I had an uncle, Uncle Buddy, who was a veteran. And I love me some Uncle Buddy. He came back from Vietnam. He was not Uncle Buddy no more, right? I had an Uncle Charles who came back from Vietnam. He wasn't Uncle Charles no more. But we send these young men to war at 18 and 19 before they can own a gun or drink a beer. And then they come back and we don't know them anymore. And we put them out on the street and we turn our backs on them. How is that okay when we have the resources? We just read, man, play some more of this bullshit he was saying, because I got a real story I'm going to tell y'all.
All right, here we go.
$2 million for social and behavior changes in Uganda. 40 million's a lot of newspaper ads in Uganda. $70 million for research of evidence-based solutions for development challenges. $10 million for Mozambique medical male circumcision.
Stop, man. So you see what's happening here? You see what's happening? This is a money grab. And many of these NGOs, non-governmental organizations, are set up in these places with lobbyists over here, and they're waving their hand. This is what we need to ensure that we have this relationship. Why are we paying for circumcisions in Mozambique? Why are we paying for sex change operations in another country? Why are we paying money to teach children about other genders? There's two genders. The problem is nobody is raising their hands and being pissed off about it. What we get pissed off about, let me just say this. The real government waste is the people we send to the damn office who don't speak on our behalf. That's the government waste. When we send somebody to D.C. and they vote on everything but your issue, that's government waste. Go look. And they live fabulous. I just said somebody, I was talking to somebody the other day, and he was talking about he saw his pastor. And his pastor, he's telling his pastor he's going through some things, and his pastor said, I'm going to pray for you. If I see my rich-ass pastor and I'm struggling, and I tell him I'm struggling, and he say, I'm going to pray for you. No, dog. I want you to pay for me. Okay? I can pray for me. The fact, for real, your pastor in a Bentley.
Don, that's a good shirt.
That is a shirt.
Don't pay for me, pay for me.
Don't pray for me, pay for me, right? You were struggling, you out here struggling, and your pastor tell you, I'm going to pray for you. No, dog, I ain't stopped you at the light to tell you I need prayer. I need prayer, okay? Okay, stop. But this is the mindset we've come to. So now I'm watching black people and white folk. It ain't a lot of white folk, because even a white liberal understand when it's some bullshit, okay? I want to shout out some of these. Now, the white progressive, I want all of them to go away for the history of America. But the problem is, when I'm watching people, let me ask you a question, Phil. I want you to come to the microphone.
Okay.
Open the phone lines up.
All right, phone lines open.
For the last 100 years, who's been the loudest voice in America saying it's a corrupt government? Who's against the people? The Negro. So now we unpeel it and open the closet door, and we realize through facts, right? Facts. That it's a good corrupt government that ain't for the people. And guess who the main people rise up and say, man, we don't trust Elon Musk or Donald Trump. What's wrong with black people? We've been hollering it's a corrupt government through Jim Crow, through civil rights, through crack versus powder, through the prison industrial complex. It's a corrupt government. Don't trust them. And now you got a rich-ass dude who say, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing you black people were thinking. I want to go peel the curtain back.
No.
Now he peeled the curtain back, and we realize it really is a corrupt government. And now we saying, close that curtain, white man. What is wrong, people? Listen to me. When you look at some of the things that we are spending money on, in 1979, Jimmy Carter was the president of the United States, and they started the Department of Education. Wasn't no Department of Education till 1979. Because we didn't need a Department of Education. Every state ran their own education. We had a system because the people who live in that state know the crisis in that state, know the issues in that state. No, we need a federal Department of Education. And we started one. And if you look at the numbers today, to all my educators who are listening to this show, feel free to jump right in. The crisis in this country from an educational standpoint, kids who live in urban communities, poor black kids, poor white folk, none of them, less than 6%, are reading and doing math on the level. This is a fact. So why the hell we need a Department of Education? First of all, why does the federal government need 2 million people to go to jobs every day? We don't. I live by the 80-20 rule. You know what the 80-20 rule says? The 80-20 rule says 20% of the people in the corporate environment does 80% of the damn work. Anybody ever heard of that, Phil?
Yep.
So why do we need 2 million people? And then somebody told me today, well, Don, they're just getting rid of people and they're laying people off. You know what? This is the problem. People work for the government. You need to go check corporate America. They done downsize and cut. Everybody I know in corporate America been on edge because of downsizing or cutting. So why we can be scared and they can't be scared? They done lived a good ass life for many years working for the government. Government don't fire nobody. I had a buddy, I'm telling you, I told it on the show the other day. This clown ass dude, he went on his social media after they shot President Trump and said he was glad they missed. Remember that, Phil?
Yep.
And they came and knocked on his door like, hey, homie, come go with us. Guess what they had to do? They had to walk him back to his desk 2 weeks later. Then President Trump and him came in and he don't work there no more. But the problem is the government has a bunch of people who we don't need 2 million people working for the government. What they do? It's not a government agency you can call, Josh. And they answer the phone on the first ring. Tell me that agency. It ain't a government agency in this bitch. Hello, welcome to the government agency. My name is Mike. Hell no.
That's hilarious.
That's real talk. Tell me the government agency that answered the phone on the first ring. We got 2 million of them. We got 2 million people work for the federal government. Hello, my name is Mike. How can I help you? No, you're not going to get the first ring. They're going to answer that shit when they get round to it. And then they're going to put you on hold. And then they're going to transfer to you a dude and thank you, come again.
We got a call.
Let's go to listen to this person. Hey, you on the Don Miller Show? What's your name? Where are you joining us from?
Hey, Don Miller, this is Pap from Florilla. How you been?
Florilla, Alabama. Hey, Pap, how you doing, man?
Alabama.
What's going on, Pap?
I'm hanging in there like a loose tooth, but I'm ready to fall out. Oh man, I'm glad you wearing a different shirt than last week, man. That was patriotic, but that brought tears to my eyes and a lump in my throat there. Yeah.
How you doing, Pap? What you want to say?
Well, I was listening to all this government waste. Oh, they've been doing that for years. Mm-hmm. And what they'll do is they'll just hide it better next time. Mm-hmm. And I hope Trump can thin them out. You know, it's going to be fun to watch. That's about all we can do.
That's all we can do. Pap, hey,
all we can do is watch.
How the weather up there in Alabama? How's it going up there?
Well, right now it's clear and cold.
Okay,
it's probably supposed. They say it's supposed to freeze tonight, and if it does, it does. It's gonna put a hurt on the flowers and everything like that. The wisteria and everything is going to get bit back, the azaleas, but it happens every year.
Hey, Pap, well, thank you for calling, man. Tell the wife I said hello.
I sure will, buddy.
Thank you, Pap. That's Pap from Florilla, Alabama. I don't know where that is. Listen, I want to just hit some. Think about this, guys. So yesterday, a couple of days ago, the GAO announced that in 2023, the federal government made $236 billion in improper payments.
Wow.
$236 billion. Mistakes. Paid the wrong people. Shouldn't have paid the people.
Dead people.
How the hell, at your job, Phil, at your job, You send $10 to the wrong person, they gonna beat your ass about it. Am I right?
Man, I used to work at Universal. I got written up for $5. I couldn't find a $5 bill. I got written up.
The problem is, it's time. I don't care what politics, what your position on the issues is. The federal government with 2 million employees, $236 billion in improper payments. I don't know what an improper payment is, but it sounds like it's $236 billion. They either got some morons or a bunch of people who don't need to be there. I'm going to subscribe to the latter. Get rid of some people. Let them see how we have to be worried in corporate America. Every one of us, no matter what level you at in corporate America, boy, your booty hole be tight as hell when the boss walk by your desk. Like, oh, damn, here he come. What he gonna do this time? Yeah? Every one of us. We on edge like, oh, damn. Oh, damn, here we come again. Then they be like, I think he gonna let somebody go. You ever heard that if you worked in corporate America? I think they're gonna let somebody go. Mm-hmm. Huh? And you be in there nervous, trembling, can't get your work done, can't focus. You done took everything off your desk that may be inappropriate for the desk. And then it ain't you. And you be like, woof. You be happy somebody else lost their job. But why can't everybody feel that? The government don't get rid of nobody. Shout out to Randy Ross, man. I love you, Randy Ross, man. You got to come back in here with us. The government don't fire anybody. Josh, you know how hard it is to get fired at the government? It's hard. They don't fire nobody. I had an uncle. Man, this dude right here was terrible. They caught him smoking weed in the bathroom at the government office building. They sent him to rehab. I say, what kind of mess is this? He was 29 years in smoking reefer in the government office. Didn't he have no medical card? He was smoking reefer, street reefer. But that's what he told him. I'm a veteran. I was in the North. You wasn't even in the war. You was a secretary. But guess what? They don't fire nobody. That's how we ended up with 2 million people, and they don't answer the phone on the first ring. At 2 million people, go to McDonald's. Somebody gonna take your order immediately, right? Once you pull up to that little thing, somebody gonna take your order immediately. What do you want? What do you have? And don't go to Chick-fil-A. We need to hire everybody from Chick-fil-A to work for the government.
That might actually work.
Huh?
That might actually work. And they'll deal with pleasure.
Everybody from Chick-fil-A. If we fire 2 million government employees and hire 47 people from Chick-fil-A, we probably can still get the job done. It's a mess. And it ain't okay, guys. I know they like Don Miller. He's just a jerk. He comes on here every Thursday night at 8 p.m., right? He comes on here Thursday night at 8 p.m. and he rubs people the wrong way. No, it's the truth, man. $236 million. Billion. See, my dumb ass missed it. How is that okay? And then you got these fools. Some lady attacked me on X the other day. She was like, well, to just let you know that when people, because they were saying how many people getting Social Security checks, they shouldn't be getting them. And she was like, well, to let you know, the funeral director, when someone dies, immediately has to notify the Social Security Administration. She told me the form number. I said to myself, don't cuss this bitch out. But I did. I didn't. I said that to myself, right?
Okay.
And she just went in on me. You don't even know anything about the funeral industry.
You're like, hey, wait a second.
No, I ain't do that because everybody don't need to know.
You didn't go in on her?
No, let me tell you what I did. First of all, I had a friend whose daddy died, and he took that man check for 7 years.
Oh.
Right here in Orlando. Took that man check for 7 years. He had the same ass name. Same ass name. He was the third.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I know you know what I'm talking about. Took that man check 7, 8 years. That man Social Security check was a nice piece of change. Took that check for 7 years. That man was dead and buried. She talking about the funeral director notifies the Social Security. That's a 3-page document, man. Ain't no damn funeral director I know getting ready to sit there and notify no Social Security. Y'all need to figure that shit out. And only it's done when the family is trying to get that $250 Social Security kickback.
They don't even bury the right people.
Listen to me. So I just sent her a video. Play that news clip about the Social Security lady. Just they know every damn thing. You got your white ass over there on
The hammer
Twitter
of
trying to
justice
check
came
me.
down in federal court
This
today
one?
on a woman who stole more than $100 million.
Oh, no, that ain't the one.
No,
that ain't the
this
one.
one?
That's the next one.
my bad,
Okay, there's
my
another
bad.
one.
The
I'm
old
going to get
people.
to that one, too.
The old people?
No, let me just say this.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to that one. Keep that ready.
Got it.
Because this is what happens when people think, it's amazing how many people think you could trust the government. There's no way. This is what somebody told me the other day. Shout out to, man, I love you, Liberal Bob. I love Liberal Bob. Liberal Bob has seen the light, and it's just so refreshing. Me and Liberal Bob fought for 2 years, and Liberal Bob has seen, Liberal Bob. Liberal Bob has seen the light. He is a good man. He's always been a good man, but he has realized that he's seen the light. So a lady tells me the other day, I'm smoking a cigar, minding my own business, and she's like, there's no way people can steal that kind of money from the government. Elon Musk is making all of this up. And I'm like, ma'am, people been ripping the government off, especially in them jobs where the supervisor don't even come to work. At your job, the supervisor come to work. At the government job, GS 15, 16, they ain't coming to work. So watch this. Play that clip you just played.
The hammer
Watch
of
this.
justice came down in federal court today on a woman who stole more than $100 million from the government. The woman did this as a civilian worker at Fort Sam Houston. KENS 5, Earl Stoudemire, breaks down her sentence and what led investigators to have to say.
Janet Yamanaka Mello has been sentenced to serve 15 years in prison on 10 counts of mail fraud and falsifying tax returns. Investigators say this is the largest Army fraud case done by a single individual and wants her sentence to serve as a reminder for anyone wanting to go against the government.
It is my job to ensure that those who choose to cheat our system, to cheat the federal government, to cheat the taxpayer, face the justifiable consequences of their actions.
Mello submitted false papers and forged signatures to show more than $100 million were used to benefit military members and their families. Instead of families getting support, Mello used the government money for personal use.
There's properties all over the place, various states, beautiful retirement homes, as I would take them to be.
All right, stop. I grew up with some thieves, boy. I had a friend, he was a thief. His name was Possum. Possum could steal anything. I had a friend named Big Stevie. Stevie was a thief. Many of us who grew up in the inner city, we knew thieves. So I called my boy yesterday when I saw that clip. I say, Red. He's like, what up, D-Mill, man? Why you calling me? How you get my number, man? Good to hear your voice, man. I heard your mama pass. I say, yeah. I said, let me ask you a question. How many years did you do in the joint? He's like, I did 17 total. I say, what's the most you ever stole? Say, damn, I knew you was going to call me some nonsense. I said, no, what's the most you ever stole? He said, probably 75,000. I said, did you steal it from the government? He's like, hell no. I would never steal no money from the government. Now, this is a thief. She stole $100 million. What does that tell anybody with common sense? Ain't no checks and balances. And she a cold piece? Because think about this. She probably could have stole $1 million and be good. But she kept getting it because guess what?
Greed.
No, wasn't nobody paying attention. What the hell would you do with $100 million that you stole? Where do you put that? Do you put that in the bank?
The mattress? I don't know.
What do you if you steal $100 million, just a regular ass person? My friend that was a thief, 17 years, I was telling him the story. I sent him the video. He said, man, that's some crazy shit, dog. I said, why? He's like, because $10 million would have put her right there. He said, I don't even know where to put $100 million. He said, I don't know nobody in my group, which is a group of thieves, would steal $100 million. But that's the fact that the government, and this is stole this on a military installation, Fort Sam Houston, San Antonio. She stole this on the mill. So what nobody paying attention? Let me explain to you what $100 million is. That's $100 million. Okay?
So hear me out, Don. All right. So she only got 15 years.
For $100 million.
Right?
Nah.
But let's say if she hid that money and did the 15 years, can she like go get the money?
First of all, they ain't getting ready to get the whole $100 million. We know that. And I would venture to ask, depending on how old you are, Phil, what you 41?
I'm 38.
Yeah, would you do 15 for 100 million?
Yes.
Yeah. Bring that bell, man. Hit me with that damn bell, man. Listen to me.
Ching, cha-ching.
Cha-ching. This lady stole 100 million. So her supervisor should have been fired. Everybody who worked with her should have. She rolling up to the government job in a Bentley GT.
She make $15 an hour.
Right? But how do you have access to steal 100? You could work for any bank in this country, and unless you're the CEO, you can't steal 100 million from them. Jamie Dimon can't steal 100 million from Chase, Bank of America. He can't. So how do you, this is the government. This is the corrupt government system that we've been talking about historically. There is no bank executive in this country, no CEO of any financial institution can press a button, Josh, and steal 100 million. You got to work for the government. You got to work for the government to steal 100 million. So now these fools out here talking about there's no way Elon Musk is lying. No, he ain't lying. That's a typical example of somebody who stole 100 million. That's the point I'm making, guys. You can work for the largest investment firm in this country. You can be on Wall Street and any street. But by the time you get to 10 million, the light gonna go on, Phil. Huh?
Yep.
Ain't nobody watching, or they all involved in this action. This is it, guys. Let's be clear. Now I want to talk about rich people for a minute. I want to talk about this because I had these conversations because this is a nonpartisan money grab. This ain't about Democrats and Republicans. This is a nonpartisan money grab. All of these people, most of these people who've been doing this have been doing this for a long time. There are some really, really rich people in Congress and in the House of Representatives, right? So the wealthiest Republican is Rick Scott in the Senate. But Rick Scott got there rich. He got there, he was Rich Scott when he got there, right? Warner from Virginia, Mark Warner, is the wealthiest Democrat. But he got there, he was rich. My concern is these people who are rich now and they ain't get there rich. That is the problem with waste. When we see, like, how the hell you used to work over there before you went to Congress? Joe Biden's only job in the history of his life has been working for the government. From 1970 to today, that's the only job he has. How did he get 20 million?
Good question.
I had an uncle work for the government for 40 years. He retired okay, but he had no millions. How do you get 20 million from a government job? And then we talk it net, because every year, every congressperson and every senator have to do a financial affidavit, right? They got to put everything they got to allegedly tell people this is what I have, right? How do you get 20 million from 166 a year for 20 years? How do you get that? How do you get to that number?
Kickbacks.
If you go look at the top 30 richest people in the United States Senate and Congress, you would be stunned at some of these people and how much money they have. There are several people with over 200. Rick Scott's over 300. And these are people who get on their planes and they fly to D.C. every week. I just scratching my head, sitting on the porch, saying to myself, if I had 300 million, ain't nobody gonna tell me I gotta go to a meeting at all. Huh? Phil. Phil, you got a meeting at 2:00 in the room down there.
Hell no.
Huh?
This could be an email.
It is ridiculous. And you ask yourself, why would a person that has a $300 million, $200 million, Nancy Pelosi's over $200 million. She got there, she didn't have 200 million. I promise y'all, go look. Why you want to go to a job and you got 200 million? I'm sitting on the porch in my drawers. 200 million? A cigar and a pair of boxers. And a cigar and a pair of boxers. But this is not these people are power hungry and they care nothing about the constituents that send them to speak on their behalf. This ain't got nothing to do with wealth envy. The point I make is this. If you trust somebody who got more than you to speak on your behalf when they could help you through legislative action, then you the fool. With the money we throw out the window, everybody should be good in this country. Josh? The money we give away, everybody should be nice. So shout out to the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. We should have had a DOGE a long ass time ago. We should have had DOGE. The Clinton administration should have had DOGE. Okay? Thank you so much, Amber. That is absolutely Caucasian, what she just said. But for real, like DOGE, I hope DOGE is here to stay. We need a Department of Government Efficiency. I'm telling you right now, these people have credit cards that the taxpayer pay the bill. And they go out to these, I was at a restaurant one time, I ain't gonna tell no name, but I might tell a name. And I'm out with these Congress people, and this dude bought a bottle of wine that I didn't want to buy. I was like, damn, they got that so-and-so, man, that's $4.99. They got that $4.99. I was like, damn, boy. Now, I'd have bought it if it was me and some other people to go in like Josh, but this dude, the congressman, bought 2 bottles. I'm like, damn, congressman, that's like congressman. He's like, I got it. So I'm nosy as hell. When the car come back, I'm looking over at the card, and the card was the government. The government bought me a drink.
So I bought you a drink.
Yeah, you bought me a drink. You gave me some sushi too, but thanks for the sushi though. But the problem, this is very serious, guys. Until we're taking care of the least of us, anything we do that is not moving in that direction is failure. Now think about this. I wanted to hit on this, right? Because somebody asked me the other day, man, Don, how much do these people really make? Well, the Speaker of the House makes $223,500. The Majority Leader and Minority Leader, they make $193,500. President Pro Tem, $193,000. Senators and representatives are currently at about $174,000. But guess what? They get an expense account. You follow me? And if you serve 4 2-year terms as a congressperson, you get a pension. Right? And then you leave and you go become a lobbyist. And you get a gang of money. The game is to be sold and not told. Look, I'm a street cat, and I learned the game from some old heads who did some really terrible things in life. When you take advantage of the lowest level people, then there's a special place in hell for you. So when I'm watching this money go out the door, and then I'm watching people defend and say, Elon Musk is making all of this up. When I know I got a friend who works for the government Department of Agriculture right now, 31 years in, he take a 3-hour lunch every day. I'm like, dog, you take a 3-hour lunch? He's like, ain't nobody gonna say no. Jeez. I say, well, wait, but don't you have a supervisor? He's like, man, I ain't seen that dude in 2 months. Because guess what happens? They are called lifers, and every time the president changed, the people in charge change through appointment. And then these people who are appointments, they put their people in for this 4 year. And don't nobody know nobody at the top. So the worker just do what they do. We need a revamping of the system, and I want to shout this DOGE thing out, man. Because I'm telling you right now, we don't need 2 million people working for the government. There's not a government in this world got 2 million people working for them. None. So anyway, I just had a lot on my mind. I was sitting there, I was just writing things down and drinking last night. I got to stop drinking. Can y'all help me with that? Anybody got a place y'all can recommend I go to? This wine got me, like, I ain't drank tonight. Yeah, I like to drink a little bit. But Phil, let me just say this. Phil, I got another something that I saw that put me in a real interesting perspective. I watched this old guy go to a pawn shop. Phil, did you see that?
No.
Okay, I sent it to you.
Oh, I had the video, but yeah, I didn't watch
I
it.
saw this guy, old guy, veteran, go to a pawn shop. And I want to play this video because I want to say something.
What I'm going to do is, I got some cash with me, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough. So what we should do is this. We'll start out with taking any part of this that you need, and see how much we can get for this. Okay. And if there's a deficiency for what I owe on the one, I got some cash.
Okay, well, how about this? I have something for you. This is for you. This is a little gift. I know your birthday's this month, right? I saw it on your ID.
Yeah.
So we put together a little fundraiser, and we came up with some money for you.
Oh my gosh.
You can open it.
I could kiss you. God bless you. Should I open it now?
Yeah, go ahead. You might not have to do your other jewelry.
Oh my goodness.
So there's $1,300 there.
You can't do it. I can't let you do this.
Yeah.
No, listen, I can't let you.
Thank you so much, Phil. Let me just say this, guys. This gentleman was a veteran and he lost his wife. And he was making ends meet by pawning the jewelry. What the hell are we doing in this country? What are we doing? Phil.
I can't tell you what are we doing because I'm thinking the same thing.
And I'm watching they peel back this onion and this money that's going out of our country. But we got these billboards and these signs trying to recruit people to the military when they're driving by people who went to the military who can't get a sandwich or a warm bed to sleep in. It is the biggest crock of bull I've ever seen. How about you take care of them and then you put videos out of the fact that we take care of our own? The level of arrogance, trying to recruit somebody to come serve this country after we treat the people that serve this country like this, that's the highest level of ridiculous ass arrogance I've ever seen. We gotta stop, man. Phil, I'm angry about this. Phil, I came across a stat about how many people who serve this country are out on the street. Put that up.
Oh, man.
Look at this, guys. Okay? 2023 Veterans PIT count results. Veteran homelessness increased in 23 by 7%. Thanks, Phil. I went through the data, and I got to put on the record for somebody to try to bust me out. I have worked in the housing business for a long time at a very, very, very high level. And one of my things that I care deeply about is veterans housing. Several years ago, Bob Fieldner was the former mayor of San Diego. He was the ranking member and the chair of Veterans Affairs. We worked hard to put together a program called VASH, Veterans Assisted Housing. It still exists, but the criteria is BS because to qualify, there are certain things that any homeless person are already going to be violated. The percentage of homeless people that have been arrested for misdemeanors is nuts because they're all homeless and they're trying to eat and they're doing things and the level of mental illness. And so this program is not fair. And nobody has tried to fix the program or address the program. So every year, millions of dollars earmarked for veterans housing goes back to the government because nobody's taking the time to fix the program and create an environment conducive to these people finding a place to lay their heads at night. But we're giving money away. And then we look at how many people who live fabulous. You know, I just read an article about all of these $1 million houses that government officials live in, Phil.
Yeah.
You know, I got somebody I know well, $4 million house. I don't know what the hell she did to get $4 million.
So what do you suggest though? Like caps or something? Like
I suggest what I've been suggesting for years on the Don Miller Show. Don Miller Radio Show. Head over and find the Don Miller Radio Show on Florida Man Radio and all these other stations I've been on over the years. We need term limits. Term limits will fix a lot of the problem. You can't sit there for 30 years. Because the longer you sit, the more away from the reality and struggle of people. You 30 years in, you don't understand what's happening on the ground. You got a staff of 40, 50 people. You don't know what's happening on the ground. You fly back to the district, probably drive through the district, see what's going on, and again go back to your fabulous ass environment. Mm-hmm. These people don't know what's happening. So I say term limits, quick term limits, immediate term limits. Send somebody every 4 years to come in, and maybe somebody at some point will realize we got to fix something. But if you could sit there forever and get that check, man, get them benefits and live that life, travel all over the world on the government dime, earmark money to programs that come back to you, why would you do anything different? Term limits is the first step. That is the first step to fixing this problem. When I'm looking at the average age in the Senate and in the Congress is 65, that's already a problem for me.
Yeah, you said it was a gerontocracy?
It's a gerontocracy. We live in a gerontocracy. We do, a gerontocracy. Pull that up and post that on the screen if you can find the definition. That's any environment controlled by old people, man. You know, Terrell had a real problem with old people, remember? He hated old people, but this fat ass gonna get old too one day.
All right, here we go.
But a gerontocracy, what does that say?
A state, society, or group governed by old people.
Yes, gerontocracy. And that's what we live in now. So you got an 82-year-old, 83-year-old Maxine Waters. And people think it's funny, Auntie Maxine. And you got Mitch McConnell having a stroke on national TV. And you got the other dude who had a stroke the other day on national TV. We should be like, okay, but no, I don't want to watch any more strokes, right? And why are you still here? You got your salary for the rest of your life. You got the amazing benefits that most people don't have. And somebody will pay you $20,000 a month to answer the phone and make corporation call them back. Why are you here? Because it's a money grab. At 84 years old, man, I pray to God every night, I'm trying to get to 74 first. I ain't going to push the needle. Why would you want to fly across the country to go to a job Monday through Friday? No, unless there's something else going on. You got an 88-year-old congressperson. You got an 87-year-old, 89-year-old. You got 87, 85-year-olds. What are we doing? And then you fools, you idiots who go vote for these people. I'm telling you right now, if I had an 80-something-year-old person running in my district, I can promise y'all I ain't voting for him. And not because I don't like him. Not because they got a new name. They just be making up names. I'm an ageist. I ain't never heard no shit like that. Ageist. Don Miller's an ageist. Whatever they call it. I'm old. Okay? I'm right on the cusp of telling people don't vote for me. Why would you vote for somebody 80-something years old? And then you see the money just going, and nobody raises their hand and asks no question. I shout out Elon Musk. Look, Donald Trump going to ride this term out. He need to go away after this. Bye, Mr. Trump. Thank you for your service. But nobody 80 years old should be. And the reason why, Phil, remember I was talking about term limits, and Joe Biden even said, yeah, it's term limits. And then all of a sudden, all of them get there. Trump, everybody get there, and it's like, you don't even hear that no more.
Close the door behind me.
You don't even hear it because they're all benefited from it. There's nowhere else in America an 85-year-old can show up for work. I don't care how fast he can walk. Okay? You 85. Damn, we got to get defibrillators in the office now. You know what I mean? Like, for real, we got defibrillators in the office, but still. The point I make is this. Why is this okay? It's okay because the money grab has been nonpartisan. So you got to be careful when you point the finger. Government waste has come under every administration. But we never had nobody this rich in office. And that's the difference. And watch this. The rich guy ain't in office. But the guy they took all them dumps on is mad as hell. I said this. Remember I said this? Man, if Trump get back in there, they done prosecuted the guy, found out that was bogus. They done came out, talked about his wife, called us some names, and talked about the little boy. And how you not think he ain't going balls to the wall? I would. This is why we have to step back and make some very serious decisions as how we're going to move this country forward. And government waste is government waste no matter who's in office. And everybody, we should have had somebody, a government waste specialist. They could call it a czar, government waste czar. Guy come in and be like, no, we don't need all that. Department of Education don't benefit nobody. Send it to the states. State Department of Education. Every state knows what their struggles are in education. We got some crazy ass officers like, go down some of these departments. Like, what do they do? Kennedy up there, he finna put all the cereal companies out of business. Phil, he like, hell no, y'all have way too much sugar for them children. Right?
But is that going to fly, though? Because, I mean, these are all these big businesses that are paying the politicians as well.
No, guess what? Okay, watch what happens. I'm telling you right now, do you understand that Fruity Pebbles was the first crack? That was the first crack, Phil.
Yeah, Frosted Flakes was.
The first crack.
He made it to kids to stop masturbating.
Remember?
Frosted Flakes, right? So they stopped masturbating?
Do you remember as a kid, you eat some Fruity Pebbles and the house get tore up immediately?
Oh, man, it was worse for me because I was growing up in the early 90s, so we had literally cookies.
Right.
Cookie Crisp.
They put cookies in milk. You remember Cookie Crisp?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to be damn, man. The problem is Kennedy's like, hey, okay, this agency is supposed to be making America healthy. Let's make America healthy. So I like what that's happening. I'm just saying y'all need to shut up about when they showing where this money is going. We need to be okay with that. We absolutely need to be like, okay, you know what? All right. But the problem is the Democrats can't take an L. Look, I grew up in the streets, right? And one thing I had, and anybody who knows you from the streets for real, right? Shout out to Jay Kane, Real Rap Kane. Go follow Real Rap Kane. When the police get you, Josh, take the L. Don't fight the police. Take the L, right? Because it ain't going to end good. You might not get to the house, ever. Let's take the L, give these people a chance, because what they're peeling back, I'm telling you, Phil, it's a lot of money going to a lot of weird places.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned that the main people who should be cheering this on, especially black people who for the last, all my black friends was like, man, the government ain't nothing, government waste. Man, they doing this, man, black man can't get a job, black government waste. Prison industrial complex. Shout out to my friend Michelle Alexander, one of the greatest authors of our era, who wrote a wonderful book regarding the prison industrial complex, the real Jim Crow. I'm just saying it is. We got to pay attention. And we got to stop as black people letting our enemy pick our enemy. So we didn't let our enemy, people who don't even like us, who've been going to D.C. for years, ain't done nothing for us, tell us not to like these people who pulling back the curtain. I'm confused when I'm listening to I had to lose a friend a few years ago, man. I still love you, man, if you're listening. I wish you wasn't petty. I lost a friend because brokenness is real, right? And my point is this when I look at this. Even a broke clock is right twice a day. You don't have to, if you have come to a point where your disdain for somebody is so bad that even when they right, you won't acknowledge it, especially after the song that we've been singing in black churches and black temples all over this country for the many years have been, we shall overcome. And we've been talking about how the government has been taking advantage of the downtrodden and how the systems were geared to do this for those people. And Now all of a sudden, we got proof. Books don't bite, and don't fear facts. Books don't bite, and don't fear facts. Books don't bite, man. Anyway, look, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Phil, open the phone line up. Somebody call me and say hi. I'm over here sitting here, and I ain't want to come in and do that tonight. I just had a lot on my mind. Some of these shows, I just come in here, just want to get everything off my mind. I want to say to the lady, I wrote her name down, her and her husband. Let me get this card, Phil, because I told these people, I ain't telling what I wanted to tell them. Cause,
well, I have some news.
This lady's name is Wanda, and her husband's name was Scott. And y'all two of the dumbest white people I ever seen in my life. I just want to tell y'all, okay, y'all ain't winning. And y'all ain't winning for a reason. Wanda and Scott, they from St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
They told me they understand how I come on the radio and embarrass black people with my dialogue. Y'all don't know us like that to say who embarrassed. Because ain't none of my friends embarrassed. So y'all gone on back over there to St. Louis. Wanda and Scott, they look like I think they was swingers too.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wanda and Scott. So what you got for me, Phil?
No, I was gonna say
I'm terrible.
So what you gonna do with your $5,000?
Man, if the government give me $5,000, I promise you, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do with it. If I get a $5,000 because they done uncovered some extra money, I give everybody my word. I swear, I'm gonna give it to people. I'm gonna go help people with it. I promise you right now. If I get that level of blessing, I'm gonna go out and help somebody with it.
I think we got a phone call.
Let's go to the phone lines.
Who's this?
This is Veronica.
Hey, Veronica.
Hi, how are you?
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Chicago.
Oh, Veronica from beautiful Chi-Town, South Side. Veronica, 15 years ago, became the president of what?
Yes.
The Don Miller Fan Club.
Don Miller Fan Club.
15, many years ago. Hey, V.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
We had a show, and we were broadcast all over. And Veronica, we love you so much. How are you?
I am awesome. I said I was going to catch you one way or another because I worked so hard. You know, I'm one of the older people that still believe in getting out there hustling.
Yeah, you from Ida B. Wells. She from Ida B. Wells. She from the project.
Yeah, tell them. I don't care. I have no shame in my game.
How are you? Go ahead.
I am awesome. And I told someone the other day, I said, you want to really hear the facts? You know, because they were sitting there debating on things, on opinions.
Mm-hmm.
You can't debate on opinions because that's what they were debating. I said, take a minute. I'm going to find out when Don Miller's on. You want to hear real facts? And you know I wasn't gaslighting them. I was telling the absolute truth.
Mm-hmm.
Sit back and listen to them.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. When I was on Satellite.
I love that young lady from Texas.
Yeah, you do?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, that's the Democrat in you, though.
Yeah, there's a Democrat in me, but I love her.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Veronica. We appreciate it.
And to that couple that who's ever bothering you, you got to tell them, yeah, we're from Ida B. Wells.
Yeah, they swing. They were swinging.
Low end.
They were swinging. She said
low end for life.
Something was weird. All right. Thank you so much.
I love you, man.
Thank you. She from Ida B. Wells. The row houses on King Drive. Boy, that was a tough life, man. I'm so glad that the Lord saw fit for me to get up out of there. Phil.
Yes, sir.
She said she loved Jasmine Crockett. We got a little clip of Jasmine Crockett we can play before we get out of here.
We sure do. Here
Jasmine Crockett is the congresswoman from Texas, and I don't understand. Go ahead.
I can't seem to find the crime, and honestly, no one has testified of what crime they believe the president of the United States has committed. But when we start talking about things that look like evidence, they want to act like they blind. They don't know what this is. These are our national secrets. Looks like in the to me. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
I'm trying to find clarification on what qualities.
Chairman, motion to strike those.
Just can't get over. I can't get over the gentle lady from South Carolina talking about white privilege. It was a spit in the face, at least of mine as a black woman, for you to talk about what white privilege looks like, especially from that side of the aisle.
For the general public, because I don't want anybody to believe that that's a good idea. I just got on Google, which if you have a cell phone, we can all do that. First of all, let me apologize because that was uncalled for. So let me do what she would never do, which is to be an adult in this room.
Okay, let me just say this. I know y'all probably, a lot of people think she badass. There's a better way to handle that. There's a better way to handle it. And I know a lot of people think she's badass. And I want to see all these black people when they run this her, but when they run her ass for president, y'all see what y'all gonna say. Y'all gonna go and run up behind her too, okay? Why can't we find, like, think about it. All my black guy buddies, I did a poll. It's like, would you date her?
She's hot.
Josh, would you date? Hell no. Hell no, Josh.
Until she started talking.
Yes, until she starts talking. And that's what everybody said. Shut up. You look good. Your eyelashes are a little extra for me. But stop it, man. What is your... Listen to me. We're losing. We're losing because of us, not because of the white man. Listen to me. I believe, for real, in institutional racism set forth by institutions. It's real. Redlining, go look. All that's real. But we got to present better people to convey the message. Listen to me. Kamala Harris wasn't even black, but she was able to jump her ass over here because we didn't want to say she wasn't black. We knew she wasn't black. We knew that lady was not black. Josh, you and I had that conversation. She wasn't black, and I knew she wasn't black. That's why I put up pictures on the Don Miller Show to prove she wasn't black. Okay, I'm for real. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. But Jasmine Crockett may be too what we call black. She may be too urban. That we don't know. I don't know if I want an urban woman president. An urban woman president? Can you imagine what she'd say to Putin? I take these eyelashes off. We got to find a better spot. We're losing. Thank you so much, everybody. Again, subscribe and like the Don Miller Show, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Do me a favor. If you got some thoughts or something you want me to talk about, drop me an inbox. You can drop me an inbox. Tell your people to follow me. Thank you so much, Veronica. Thank you so much, LaTanya, the Fragrance Ministry. This lady, they got a fragrance that people was coming to church musty, and they started a fragrance ministry. I want to shout out LaTanya, who's in charge of that. Quetta Jean Johnson from the Johnson Family, Ridiculous Ass Behavior. Phil, you there?
I'm here.
Phil there. Little white lady, Amber, who make things look amazing on the Don Miller Show. Real Rap came. Thank you so much, everybody. Josh brought his lovely wife to the studio tonight. Man, I love you, young fella. What I say when I see you all the time? To you and good to see you, boy. Good to see you, boy. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll be back next week. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Your boy right there, man. He don't even act like he be in the studio. The Asian cat.
Kalen.
I know. I'm just messing with him. He say he Asian. He Blasian, though. He black and Asian. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next week.